Hey. Nice. Now, do I come in as a raider on my own channel? No, I don't show as a raider. That's not fun. Good morning, all. Morning, Doctor. How's it going? How was your weekend? Nice. Long weekends are good. I have this week off, so this stream may or may not go longer. We'll see. Ooh, work. It was my job. My mic's quiet. What? Morning, Trap. How you doing? You got a lot of bit gain. Compared to Clay and Beegs. Hold on. I've got my volume at 50% and it seems actually pretty loud for me. Well, I'm going to assume that it's okay. I mean, my voice is hardly quiet at the best of times. But we'll go ahead and see how this goes. So I'm gonna continue doing some Godot today. I've been sorely tempted to jump onto my normal app dev stuff because it's because I want to make progress on that, but I also want to keep to this schedule, and it's good for me to do other things, I think. Um, Gotcha. I do that as well. I lower the volume down to 1% so that it definitely registers me watching it. Um, One stream isn't enough. Uh, I think it's a challenge of you want to support people on Twitch, right? So you try and watch the channels, but you're not always engaged in exactly the content they're doing, I suppose. So, and I certainly don't have the attention span to listen to multiple streams. I don't enjoy Twitch like I did 3 to 4 years ago. I think streamers have become more about the money. Eh, I mean, the dev community, I would tend to disagree. I mean, there's definitely a push to try and make more entertainment on a lot of streams, and I think it depends what we're each looking for, right? Um, just got up and checked the weather. Now looks like Beryl is missing us. Was hoping to get some of that rain. Oh, yeah, you kind of need that rain. Not even going to skirt you, so it gives you a bit of showers, but it doesn't give you the heavy winds. Yeah, the dev community isn't bad for all that. I think that becoming a streamer and making a career out of it is kind of like, for me. I don't want to make a career out of streaming necessarily. I wouldn't mind streaming 8 hours a day and streaming my work. Like, if my main platform stuff was actually making money and that actually was a product, I wouldn't mind streaming that during the day. Um, that'd be kind of fun. I do it for, well, I think you know why I do it, but um, a lot of the smaller streams I watched have disappeared probably because they realized there'll never be a ton of money. Um, Maybe, but also streaming's kind of hard, right? It is really difficult to keep up with, you know, Like if I streamed and one person showed up every now and then and it was quiet all the time, um, it gets tough, right? Um, like there's only so much you can spend talking to yourself, right? So if you're not and some people don't have the patience for it, right? I know I streamed for a little while, but also I'd been in other communities, and I think that's another thing. Engaging in other communities will get more viewership because you'll overlap people's different time zones and different likes and whatnot. Um, I'm just used to talking to myself, so I have no problem with it. but but it's I think I've talked to some people and like, why are you streaming? Like, because I'll be honest, it's nice to see people in the stream. It's nice to see the chat being active. It is very rewarding to see an active chat. And I'm streaming for the engagement, for the community, for I want to share what I do. And if people don't like what I do, be able to say, okay, well, let's learn, let's do something. I'd like to grow. I don't want to just do something if other people don't agree with it. Because again, it's to me, it's working with other people. Um, the fact that people subscribe and do that is a bonus for me. Um, it's quite rewarding, but it's not why I do it. And again, if I could work on this full time, I'd do that. I'd stream 8 hours a day or more, and just do the code I would normally do. But I think a lot of people think streaming is going to make them rich, or they're going to take off. But then they realize just how hard it is to like they're modeling themselves on their favorite streamers, etc. And um, it's hard. Oh, what did I change last week? We changed the projectile manager. Did I get this working? I don't know. I have a very different perspective on streaming, which is now that engagement I'm on it. Right. Nice. I mean, again, finding what you stream for is important. Are you streaming because um yeah, money cannot be a motivator. Um for comparison. So Saturday's stream, which was a longer stream than normal, got 22 cents in revenue, 14 cents from ads, and 8 cents from Turbo. Friday's stream got 91 cents. So if you're trying to make money on Twitch, you have to be aiming for larger audiences. Absolutely. Even to get 20 to 30 viewers, which doesn't seem that much, is very difficult. Especially in dev. If you look at all the dev streamers that get 20 to 30 viewers, they are putting a lot of time into the entertainment aspect of the stream, engagement. There's a lot more fun things for people to play with. People, again, for me, I just care about creating a place to talk about code or to talk about what we do, and it's good to have that engagement. Um, yeah, Yeah, I don't engage in any social network stuff. I don't try and, you know, any growth on this stream is just purely through either me engaging in other communities and letting and people knowing that I stream. Yeah, it's yeah. You're not going to get rich streaming unless you are putting a lot of work in. That's for certain. And you're finding the right audience. Again, I think the biggest dev streamers are in the hundreds of viewers. Um, I'm terrible at summarizing, and there are a lot of caveats for all things. While there is engagement, if there wasn't even a single person on stream, I'd still be presenting it because you are using it as dog fooding, just chatting away. Um, yeah, not dog food. Yeah, yeah, rubber duck. Sorry, I've got dog fooding on there. I'm trying to think about. I've been game dev might be a little bit difficult for me right now because I'm like my brain's fully on my other platform stuff. But I've been kind of thinking about getting to that phase, so that's definitely on my head. Yeah, and I'm struggling to type because I can't find where to set the net version for my build pipeline. Oh, oh, I chase my excitement more maybe on side projects, even if it's not the most productive thing I do. What's the shiniest? Right now, everything's kind of shiny, right? Like the game dev stuff, I'm enjoying building. I really want to see this, like, um, I want to see if I can get waves in and trigger the patterns, etc., or make it natural to shoot them up. But but my brain is still on the whole changes thing, so I'm kind of torn mentally right this second. I scrapped what I did the other day with changes. I decided I can't do that way is going to make way too much more mess, and I don't need to know instantly. Um, I want to spend more time sharing DevOps stuff on stream. I'm very comfortable with everything after the code pushes to GitHub. Yeah. I I think if you're going to stream dev stuff or anything like that on stream, you have to be willing to share the failures as well as the successes. And to me, sharing the struggle is also part of the process. Like if any um, less experienced devs are watching and they're taking from that even I'm struggling, right? Then at least they can see that it's not all just easy and comes naturally to everybody. Um, and oftentimes you can go off and fix something, but you've gone through a lot of struggle that you don't realize you've actually. Well, once you're on the other side of it, you don't necessarily appreciate the struggles that it took to get there all the time, and sometimes you make it look easier. Um, Sharing that process is exactly, yeah. Um, is the one way you want to help them up. I don't give fishes. I teach how to fish. Yeah, I think there's also an aspect of collaboration. There's a potential for reaching out and like I've said in the Discord, um, I am going to run. I think the community Q&A stream went really well. I think there was a lot of feedback, discussion and stuff going on in the stream. I think that went with retrospect that was a good day. I enjoyed that. But I also want to be able to say, okay, well, if you want to have a chat, if you want, because I've there's another Discord I'm in, Rambling Geeks Discord, and every now and then, like anybody want to get on a call and have a chat. Um, and it's like sharing a struggle with a project or just talking about that sort of stuff in general, just off stream, just not recorded, just having a chat and being able to have people to engage with. Um, and I think I want to embrace that as well. So I might actually start doing that because again, it's you're building contacts or you're building uh, relationships with people on stream. When you get, people come in, they have opinions. We don't all agree on the same things. We all have different experiences. I think I like that aspect of streaming. Yeah, so I've been thinking about doing it. Probably it would end up on a weekend, um, but probably a couple of hours on a um, Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning or something like that, where I'd just open up Discord and I think I would experiment with limits on the number of people, but also the ability for someone that wants to talk through stuff. So George Smileyface is a big fan of not just typing back and forth when he's struggling with something. He's a very he'll be like, can you jump on a call and can we talk about it? And I've found that useful before. So even offering that, making sure that people know that that's available, is something that I'd probably want to do. The problem with that is scheduling. With office hours, I'd probably schedule that rather than just open it up. But then, you know, kind of giving back community wise, just being able to say, hey, you can, if you want, you can ask, and if I'm free, I can jump in a phone call, in a Discord call, not a phone call. So yeah, those are the things I've been thinking about as well since Friday, because it really did. I had a lot of fun. Okay, so we have that working. That wave's going to come down this side. We have that working. Yeah, I have that working. The scores aren't registering, so that's awesome. Okay, so scores aren't registering on that. Absolutely love how George asked that. I feel like a bother for asking something like that. So again, I'm happy to do that sort of stuff if I can help someone do something, and jumping in a Discord call and sharing a screen and having a chat is the best way. I'm happy to do that. Um, Whether it be publicly or one on one, I don't mind doing that as long as I'm free. Uh, Maybe I just need to make that clear. Um, I've wondered if I should do that for my OSS work now that it's gotten to the point where Reddit seems to be hit up a few times a week. It's a real time investment. It is, especially for you, I would imagine, with all that you contribute and all that you do. Um, I think you'd have to have some defined rules there. Xcoding, hello, how you doing? How's things? I may take you up on that sometime in the future. I'm still at a point that I think that's where I more. Wow, I'm having a bad day for reading. Normally, I'm better at this one. We'll see. I may take you up on that sometime in the future. I'm still at a point where that I think there's more that I should do research before I anytime. Um, it's fine. At work, I'm going good. I'm going good. I'm just kind of tinkering with some game dev. So Mondays and Tuesdays on stream, I play with some game dev stuff just to try and cleanse the palette, do something different. I'm not a game developer by any stretch of the imagination. This is something that's always been a fascination of mine that I would love to try and do more of. So I'm giving it a go. Score value, that's why. We'll give them 50. They're 50. Let's do them as 75. I do an office hours at work every 2 weeks for an hour, and that is that still requires prep more than I'd like. Yeah, I suppose it depends. I mean, if I was to run that, then it might be like a more coffee and chat until unless there was something that specifically people wanted to focus on my stuff, then more office hours, right? In your case, you'd be opening up for people to come in and um, um, ask questions and kind of get direct answers from you. Going ahead to work now. I want to get an early start since I don't have much in terms of PRs made so far. Good luck. Delta, thank you very much for coming and hanging out. And see you again soon. Is it my alliteration? Imagine trying someone that reads chat messages. Nothing but tongue twisters. Um, no, I think I'm just having a bad day for reading. Uh, um, your sentence structure was perfectly fine. Just my reading was poor. And you know, um, so Mojo has recently started streaming and is doing a really good job. It's all the setups coming together and getting some stuff done. And was a raider. Well, gave me a raid at the beginning of the stream. It's like, oh, you're going to take the time before I stream. Nice. Just random pop-up stream. I like the pre-day coffee and chat idea. During my internship, the managers had an open meeting for anyone to come in and out. Yeah, I think if I ran like it, the office hours would make sense if people had questions about my stuff, like they were working on my stuff. But being that no one's using my stuff or whatever, then it wouldn't really be it wouldn't necessarily be office hours, more like a weekend coffee and chat sort of, you know, bring things in. But I'd be willing to do that. I mean, if people are interested. I need to get my stream developer stream idea going. So, the shout out stuff is nice, but when you have Mojo Ustream, Trap Ustream, Xcoding Ustream, Online Ustream, Dota does stream. Hasn't done for a while, but he has streamed in the past, right? I don't think I'm missing anyone right this second. But, pretty much everyone in the stream is actually streamers. So giving shout outs always feels like a challenge when it's, especially with the Twitch one where it's timed. But my idea is that basically what I want to do is use developers.stream, um, use developers.stream to basically say, okay, provide a community shout out, and it will take everyone that's currently in the stream that does stream, and provide a page that you can go to and see all the current streamers in chat. Actually, the window before your stream might be a comfortable slot, but I have to get in the habit of waking up this early. Yes. Yeah. If you find a schedule that works, I would advise setting a schedule. Like my weekend streams are random and they're completely off the schedule, so they are. But then again, my stream doesn't have continuity necessarily. So I'm not panicked about that as long as I keep my regular stream schedule in place. I'm happy with that. And this works for me because the first 2 hours of my day is pretty much lost anyway. Well, the second and third hours of my day. We just got an email saying my Zima Cube has been shipped. New project on the way. Ooh, you've told me about the Zima Cube. Personal cloud. Okay. Yeah. Oh, nice. So what sets that aside from a NAS? Or is it just a NAS, essentially? They just, because I see it's got M100s. N100 isn't exactly a powerful processor, right? It is just an SK. They're just advertising it as personal cloud. Yeah. Ah. So it comes with an SSD, and then you whack the drivers in it. Okay, nice. But the company is looking to compete with major NAS companies building their own OS that happens to use my software. Nice. Non-technical person could probably understand. I'm not sure people would understand what personal cloud means. I'm not sure people understand what we mean when we say cloud necessarily, other than it's somewhere out there. Yeah, they have a M100 variant, but it's built from scratch. Their motherboard is custom. Gotcha. George, how you doing? Hello, I'm the man who has learned to update. And you'll need to do it next time as well, and you'll forget. It's fine. Up all is well. Phil Summer, how you doing? Welcome in. Okay, let's see how they're going with this. Okay, so we got scrolls going. We got some tanks going. I got some planes. Okay, this actually is starting to get. There we go. But it's still won't run on my Pi. Oh no. Um, if you look at the if you look over their Kickstarter page, they had to spend a bunch of time allocating PCI Express lanes for optimal use. Ah, so they actually had to figure out how to get the most use out of everything. I always see things like the M100, and I just think underpowered. I don't know, the Intel low power CPUs always seem quite poor in comparison to their AMD counterparts. WRT to nothing. The Windows Explorer, my Windows got upset. Thought I would have to restart the computer, but actually talked to. Not too bad. It took whatever you wrote there as a link, by the way. Talk to star 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 for 10 minutes. Isn't just some generic board thrown into a generic chassis. Nice. What time zone are you in? I don't have my RPIs plugged in. Okay, so we got that working, and I need to stop it moving when when the when its dictator is dead. It doesn't need to be doing. It doesn't need to be rotating. Um, look at if not is dead. No, if is dead. Turn the Claude AI. Ah, so you are learning Game.tv. Yes, that is the thing that I'm doing on Mondays and Tuesdays right now. So water drink water is still a thing, right? My viewer friendly app is still a thing. I don't know how to quite promote that fact again. So I'm gonna have to figure out. I probably have to get some more commands in and stuff, and get some more software set up for running commands. But basically, because I took water drink water to a good point where it was almost getting to where I wanted it to be, but I didn't want to keep developing on top of it and making the app more complicated without giving people the opportunity to contribute. So I kind of switched to doing game dev a little bit because it's always something that's fascinated me, and I've always wanted to learn more about. Um, So I've started doing this Mondays and Tuesdays for right now, and see how far I can get through this. So I've been working on this little shoot 'em up, basically so I could learn about scenes, I could learn about um, well, different aspects of things, learn about how to. Oh, yeah, need to. Okay, they do stop at least now. There you go. Okay. Did that score reset then, or did that score continue on? Let's try that again. So if I go and shoot these guys, we'll worry about balancing and stuff later. Okay, now let's die. Okay, 250 points. Yeah, I probably need to reset the score as well, don't I? And those projectiles didn't all reset. And I'm pretty sure that when I hit an enemy, I should probably not pass through them. But actually, what was the right way there? The idea of the projectile manager is to queue free everything. Uh, Q3 just removes it from the tree, which should remove it from the visible. But those bullets are still definitely on screen then, so let's just let's not worry about that. Let's worry about game manager, scorekeeper is the one. Hello, Abo. Oh, I'll go with Abo. If it's wrong, let me know how to pronounce your name properly. I don't want to be offensive. So here we need to reset the scorekeeper. So scorekeeper on game over, ready up, on restart game, scorekeeper dot reset. We're gonna create that method. So, but yeah, normal stream stuff. If you have questions, thoughts, opinions on what I'm doing, let me know. If you want to talk about other stuff, app stuff, I'm happy to divert. Again, drink water is still a thing. If you're interested in, no, I do not have any bots or anything running. Which I'm happy to divert to, if people have questions. And I need to. One line actually does a better job of um, letting people know that drink water is still a thing than I do. So I probably should make sure to correct that. Okay, let's have a look now. Okay, so we need to get some points. Then we have a game over screen. Okay, there. Okay, so they shouldn't still be firing. Oh, we got a nice. Okay, so I need to reset. Oh, there we got some leaks there. Mr. Jones, good afternoon. How's it going? So I think that's because that happened. So let's go back there. I'm finding that with game dev, there's the number of things you've got to do kind of grows with every change you make. Okay, so 400 points. Yeah, I gotta do that. Okay, so let's stop that running. So enemy manager, game over. Should remove them. Shouldn't it? On level changed. Enemies clear. That doesn't remove them, does it? Hmm. For each enemy enemies. Enemy dot q. No, can't do it that way because they're not. They're I enemy. Will that work? Enemy dot q3. Then that. I don't think that's going to do what I want to do though. I feel I feel like the risk I run every time I'm doing this sort of stuff is in kind of pushing and pulling. I'm like, I'm trying to fix one problem and I laser focus on how to fix that problem and I create five more problems because I'm just kind of stuffing some code in to fix a problem. And I don't know a better pattern, a working pattern yet for because I don't know I don't understand other options. Um, Enemy manager game over, so I'm game over there. Yeah. So I should load next level. Game over scene. So on camera stop. That's the end of level thing. Right. Um Else at game over scene. On restart game. End of game. Q3 everything. At the game over scene. On player death. At game over scene. Let's do that. Let's call it enemy manager game over first. So yeah, I feel like I'm doing a lot of push and pull where I'm trying to fix one thing by directly addressing that thing. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm ready to. I've addressed that thing. It means that I'm okay. There you go. So everything got cleared off the screen. When I hit space, I want that to go to 0, that to go to that. Yeah. Okay, we return back to the original position. We have that. So yeah, I'm just kind of making this up as I go along, right? As to what feature I want to work on next, what thing I want to do. Oh, that's not good. Can that access a disposed object? What was disposed? Enemy aircraft. Line 73. Enemy manager. Enemy base. Line 81. So on game over invoke. Notify on game over. Interesting. So it's telling me that can't access this disposed object because the name isn't available. So the event is still wired up. So I'm not disposing of the events properly when I'm clearing things, am I? Enemy manager. I suppose we want to do that. We do that. That'll fix them ones, but it won't fix that. Enemy as node. Maybe. Let's see. So when we do game over, we want to release the events. Event subscriptions. Okay, so now let's go and die in this. Okay, so game over was called for the tanks that were on screen. Now let's go back again, start again. Let's make it through the level this time. We can do this. So right now, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, online streams. What's on a financial management project has been doing a lot of stuff in Figma, which is fascinating, and is starting to move to implementing that design as an actual site from Figma, which I am really looking forward to seeing. It's been a long time since I actually did anything with any sort of design work given to me and tried to implement. So I'm interested to see the approach there. Stranhorn, morning. How's things? Okay, so there we go. So we got through to the game and we've got 500 points. Hit escape to end, and then everything goes there. Okay. I can worry about that later. We should be doing an actual code today. I didn't create new GitHub issues yet, but hopefully I'll be there. It'll be there before the stream. Nice, nice. It's got me thinking about this when you were asking today, like how would I approach some of this stuff, and breaking down work into tasks. We obviously got into a discussion. Actually, that was Saturday's stream. It wasn't actually on Friday, was it? It was on Saturdays because oh yeah, Deflux disagreed. Yeah, so that was quite the discussion. Good so far. Just getting settled back into work after the vacation. Nice. Hope things are still working well and have no issues. Monster Shard, by the way, thank you very much for the follow. I do apologize. I didn't see the follow. If you have any questions, thoughts or opinions on what I'm doing, please feel free. The chat the chat takes priorities most of the time over my coding, so which is perfectly fine by me. Just need to make sure the deployment goes well, and I'm going to go grab my next cup of coffee. AFK for a few. Coffee is important. So I think what I want to do here is implement some sort of scoreboard. I think I want to do like an old school 3-character scoreboard thing. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't see anything major. We didn't get any new relic alerts the whole time I was out, so our clients must have taken a vacation too. I suppose the beginning of summer can be your quiet season, but going into the end of summer is a very busy period for you, I would imagine, doing what you do. Unless I misunderstand how that process actually works. But yeah, I consider that a measure of success. Like one of the measures of a team success is if you can go away and not worry about work, um, and trust that when you come back things are running, and there was no oh no, uh, this happened and we made this decision because you weren't around. I think that's a good measure of everything working as it should. Actually, it's a semester before they get pretty busy. Clients have their scholarships out during the fall and score them during spring. Okay, yeah. Summer is very quiet, which is a good time to getting big features. Okay, yeah. The industry I work in, spring to fall is the busy season. Actually, thinking about it, there's very few industries I've worked in. Actually, no, every job I've done has had the concept of a busy and quiet season. Yeah. So I've worked in travel, and reservations, and insurance stuff. Summer is a busy period. Like there's always business, but there's a particularly busy period during summer where you don't want to make any major changes. Um, Airport parking, which is generally always busy, but again, summer hits and more people are going on holidays, and there's a larger rush through. Um, Pest control and service has a busy period, and even so, my last job I was doing research. So the software I was building primarily didn't have a season necessarily, but the business did in that when air shows and stuff were happening and plane sales were happening more frequently, um, they were more focused on delivering new features and stuff. So delivering to trade shows and stuff. So that became the busy period. Actually, thinking about it, this might be the one. Actually, though, you would be at the mercy of everyone else's busy periods in this. So the platform stuff might actually be very difficult to release features later on. So I might have to consider that. It's not running, that's why I didn't start up there. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to commit everything first. Um, oh, I left my phone somewhere. Hmm. Scored enemies, enemy scoring on aircraft. And um, the commit notes really don't make a big difference here. It's not like this is being picked up by anybody. Correct removing enemies. Reset score. Game over. Restart. Let's go with that for now. So there you go. If you're interested, um, uh, I've got to decide where I'm going to put. Um, this is a stream project, so I do put it on a Yeah, you always in a somebody's busy period. Wow, English, I know it. It's all good. I understood what you meant. There you go. So this game that I'm building is shared on a GitHub on the stream repository. Um, so yeah, let's go and see if we can implement a game over a high score screen. So there'll be a few components to that, right? There'll be um, displaying the high scores. Um, Displaying the high scores. Um, Loading them up. Yeah. Hi, regular C# question. Do you have a preference for discriminant union? Either or implementation style? Not particularly. Not sure. Um, oh, I do union. Not form very much. I mean, the language extensions built in have a lot of the functionality you need. Is there any particular challenge you have with it, or something like Rust enums? I haven't looked at Rust enough to know what that means. If you ignore the power out switches that are not exhaustive, I think records plus interfaces in C# is good enough. Rust doesn't read too badly, actually. Kind of like the way it reads. Um, Trying to see what other people would do. Um, oh, I know the pattern, the results pattern, essentially. In yeah, looks like a sharp without with semicolons. Mm, yeah, we're not becoming a Rust dev, don't worry. I guess I just don't use, again, not following the comp sci thing. I haven't really got used to using certain terms. Discriminated unions is one of those I just don't. I can't recall specifically referring to it before? Right, okay. One of, okay, I get it. Mm. I think I'd normally use some form of inheritance to represent the result there rather than saying, oh, it's one of these. Hey TT, how you doing? But one of seems to be um, which is literally just you get one of. Seems to be the way. Yeah. So first number, how do records help that? What do records give you that? I suppose that's what I said. The result pattern. Um, Not that. That. That's that, isn't it? Where its results is either this or this. One of these two. Yeah. How to complete setup my VS Code in my computer this project. Is that a question, TT, or are you just you're doing that? Yeah, yeah. But that's the pattern that I'm seeing. Yeah. Look, baby. No worries, Mojo. The string, not the grid. Okay, so there's the okay. Gotcha. Lack of nothing type. That's a gross pattern, but makes sense for endpoints. Uh-huh. Again, some things I use and I don't realize what I'm using exactly. Some things I do realize and um, go off and learn more about. Opinions are fine. Yeah, sharp, you can declare a DU like this. Type my DU equals A of string, B of int, C of string in. Gotcha. And it's one of those things. I don't know, that just feels like I'm being wishy-washy. So let's go back to scenes, components, enemies, overlay. Let's create a new scene. We'll call this high score. High score. No, all good, Jackina. I'm I'm happy to learn something. And what I'm thinking through right now is the code I would use that in, right? Is a do I design my code in different ways because I don't understand that that pattern's available to me, or do I um, use it very often in F sharp, for example, when I make message types. The language that supports it can better handle control flows. So it's better when the language can use it. Gotcha. So it's more of because it's not a first class citizen in C sharp, I probably won't have done it very often or seen it very often because it's not a language concept, which we should expect to come in C sharp 10 or something because they'll decide that it needs to be added or something. Or .NET 9, C Sharp 14 or whatever that would be. We can survive without it, sure. We could also survive without pattern matching. Yeah, yeah. Canvas layer. Okay, so this is a canvas layer. And what we want to do here is parsing JSON is very handy to have a union type. It can be very messy supporting in JSON and C Sharp right now. Okay. So if you're loading different components out and you want to store them in a hierarchy, but you want to have the right value, you could use that to say, okay, this is a list of either this object or this object or this object, or this returns this object. I think watching Emporium guy work the other day, he kind of parsed the JSON multiple times because he was checking it for an error type, and then he was checking it for a different type. He was parsing the same string over and over again, and kind of just casting it into different object types. Hmm. Example from today is this F-sharp message type I did today. Shader mix message equals dispose message, render scaling message of float, change scene message of scene ID. But then don't you end up doing... So I'm sure there's cases I would have come across where I would probably need that sort of behavior. And I've probably used inheritance to solve the problem, right? Where they're all types of message, and I've just gone down to the lowest common denominator. But then you end up on the other side doing an if. You can do it using inheritance. I think that's where I'd probably most likely solve that problem, where I have a need to get, yeah, how much it. Not if, yeah. I think Grumpy, when Grumpy did a podcast thing, I joined in for one, and he was showing me, he was trying to, we did a few sessions of going through F sharp, which was fascinating but scary at the same time. It's exhaustive. So if you add a new message type, you get compiler errors when you don't handle it. Uh, huh. Yeah. So the code maze example uses offers tuples or they use an enum. I suppose it's more expressive in that case. And then they use match. Yeah. Okay, I suppose that makes sense. So it kind of does go to that pattern matching. Uh, that is nice. You probably don't get compilers with C sharp. Often, yeah, I think often, if not most times, it could be replaced with inheritance. I think I've probably solved that problem in that way through inheritance in the past. Um, this This example makes a bit more, it gives me a bit more insight. The using F sharp is important. God, Lord. Okay. Okay. So what I need to do, so we need a high score. So how do we do that one? Game over. So you had a VBox container, which makes sense. We want a VBox container. And we had that is centered, H center, center, layout, H center wide. Okay. Then add child node, text, rich text label. Header. High score. And then fit content. Yeah. Theme. Load. Type variation. Okay. I've got to get my head around the theming thing because obviously you can create variations. So if I go into themes here, I can create a variation on, if I create a rich text type, rich text label. I think I can save a variation of this. So we change the size to 38, say, and the color. Oh, default color. Yeah, see how the, because I've put the theme on there. Now that's getting that color. Let's do 56. And it's a standard. So you can create overrides independently, or I can create I think I can create a variant of, that I could add. I think to me the diff is that DUs are pure data types and inheritance suggest I also implement methods that do differ, but that might just be my. Now I think it's now understanding a little bit more about how it's implemented and whatnot. I think inheritance would be a solve for it, but it's not necessarily representative of the thing you're trying to represent. You're trying to say it's either this or this or this or whatever, and they're distinct. I mean, in the example that the code maze example gives, it is an enum. It's just saying it's going to be this or this, right? It's actually telling you which value it's going to be. But I think it's a bit more declarative. Probably gets the intent across a little bit more. So I can see why it would be useful. Now I see it, but again, I've probably solved that challenge in the past through using inheritance rather than. But accepted. Okay, it's going to be very narrow in its scope. Bold, because I've not said it's, I said bold font size and I've not set it to bold font. Um, Load, bottom regular. Uh, yeah, okay. So how do I do? I didn't set it to bold, that's the thing. So now if I set this to bold, styles. I get this is a there we go. That's how you do it. That's how you set bold. Um, in Rust, they also have fancy features so that the DU is a struct type in the size of is the maximum size of it if you consider all unique cases. This is hard to do in .NET. Yeah, so what I'm learning here is because I mean it's an external concept in the language for .NET, so the likelihood is I've just never come across it described that way, and people aren't using that. Whereas in languages that express it, when it's a first-class citizen, I suppose it's a little easy to get your head around and use that pattern. Okay, so the challenge here is I want to store the values. So I suppose we need a script for this now. Um, Loading resource files. I'm going to store a Godot. I'm going to store. My first instinct is to go to storing it in a JSON file. I'm not using INI. No. JSON standard. If a file in a file it may look like a GDScript dictionary. Okay, so user player data JSON. Save, load. Okay, so let's do that. Not liquid sky. Let's go to scripts. New folder. Let's go. New script. High score. Gets confusing because you end up with the scripts are the name of the object, and it's not right to use weird casing in .NET. But then these will create, like what was it before for the scene? I need a high score. It's called high score there. So yeah. Anyway, create a structure to store this. A public class. And checking out. Thank you very much for the follow. I have no idea why I'm not paying attention to that right hand side of the screen today. I do appreciate it. There you go. I'll have a better site. I've window organization is a challenge. I need to get better set up. So what we'll do is we'll have a um record. It's kind of a record. Um Scroll record. String player. Don't really know why I wasn't already following. I'm looking here with time to time. I appreciate the look. I appreciate the follow. It's a good time being here. Thank you very much. We're not going to score the dates and times. That's fine. We're not going to be creating the next esports legend title here, so I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to take. He says, confidence. I'm going to take this. I'm going to drag it off screen, so I don't keep flashing back and forth as I look at stuff. Okay, so public class. I'm going to put them all in here for right this second. Um, Hi, Hades. Sounds like a traditional C, C++ Union variant. I think you and Phil Schnabel will understand a lot more about that than I will. High school manager. Well, we created a manager. It's awesome. Um, wow, project settings. That's pretty interesting that you chose to do it that way. Interesting. Project settings is stores variables that can be accessed from everywhere. Doesn't seem like a project settings sort of thing though. Private non-string save file. Path. Yep, we'll go with that. And I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we'll do that ourselves. Does so there'll be score records. So public void record score record. Thinking about several things right this second. Mainly, like this is the first time I've come up with something that's basically a service that needs to be passed in. I want this behavior to be separate than the actual script of the high score, but I don't necessarily need it to be. So let's just not worry about that right this second. We don't need to break it out as a separate class. That's just a refinement later. Um, so public void record score record. record. What structure do I want to store in high scores though? I mean, it's just an array of values. What do I want to do here? So I'm just looking at the. Doesn't look like Godot has. Okay, it does. Yeah. So that has open, and then that's going to be save file path. Read. Is that managed? Var save file. So save file dot. Oh, that seems. That seems like an object that's built for everything. So get word store CSV line. This is making me think that there might be some better. Either I use the built-in .NET stuff for file access in this case for the JSON. They don't have get string necessary. So they have store string, but get Pascal string. They have store string. Append string to the file without a line return. But those are the only string methods available. I'm not. It's where the auto suggestions get in your way, because what that was offering me then was methods that don't exist in this class at all. It's just assuming it knows what I want. So that can get things confused. Like I appreciate. This was the store text. No, it's get as text. You skip bar content equals that. JSON. Deserialize. Score. Record. scores. And I kind of need to reshuffle what's there. If scores. How am I going to do that? Scores. So I've already made that a problem because I've returned an array, right? Um, New list. Score record. I don't think it'll deserialize it as a list. I don't think so. I mean, basically what I want to do is var content equals that if not string dot is null or empty content. So I'm trying not to overthink it, but I'm also not trying to make it completely dense. Because what I'm thinking of doing is just doing scores to add, and then um, scores dot order by s dot score take 10. And then do that. Rather than mess around with trying to reorder it, etc., just add it onto the list and then sort the list. Just order the list again and take the top 10. Actually, that's not correct. Scores equals string not is nor empty content else that. That's interesting that it infers it that way now. It's a collection operator. Huh. Two solid clans. Hello, how are you doing? It's funny that you say that because this was going to be a manager. So I am working on Godot and I'm just trying to get my head around game development. As you know, we've tried this before. Tired? I get tired. So I've been trying to build this little shoot 'em up for a few weeks. Just trying to get the ideas down, understand scenes, understand movement, understand how scripts work and how they relate, and get an idea of just the editor in general. Just kind of building on top of features and just generally trying to get my head around stuff that just baffles me most of the time. So, um, this little shooter, and yeah, it ain't doing anything fancy, but I'm kind of getting my head around bit by bit how Godot works and staying simple. So right now I'm just going to put a high score screen in, which I'm kind of working on right this second. I mean, public ID of score record. top 10 scores. I think we'll do it that way. That needs to be right read. Well, it's fun. Ah, I always feel like I don't understand enough about how the tools work and how to actually achieve anything. And every time I've gone near game dev, oh, sorry about that. Every time I've gone near the game dev stuff, it's either way beyond me and I can't get my head around it, and I just kind of need to build up the understanding. And so this is kind of my way of, okay, how does Godot work? How do I put things in? So I've kind of made up things as I've gone along and piecing it together and getting an idea of how the tooling works, and just generally just trying to feel more comfortable with this stuff so I don't feel like I'm dense. Um, so and just kind of sharing the learning, just because I've been a developer for a long time doesn't mean I'm good at this. Doesn't mean I'm good in general, but it means, I can I understand what I've built, I understand why I'm doing it. So I'm, triggering waves off screen. I'm uh, managing the memory, managing the scene, and just trying to do this. And it's working pretty well. So just trying to learn. Um, using pools for enemies. No, I haven't got anything. I do have a manager. I have a game manager, to your point, which has enemy managers. Um, so it has an enemy manager and it keeps track of the enemies. And when the level starts, it goes and gets a list because I actually place them all. They're not dynamically generated; they're all placed. I have a so my main scene has the viewport, the scorekeeper, the projectiles and enemy stuff in there, and then the levels are defined separately. Um, Sounds like my bad game dev rubbed off a bit. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's an evolutionary step. I'm actually considering it an evolutionary step. Once I understand a little bit more about how things work and what are available to me, then maybe I have better patterns to use. Um, I don't like the word. I don't like sticking manager in there, but I've raised this with like Canny and stuff before. Like the weird thing about game dev so far seems to be that things just need to know about other things, right? It's the only way that that things happen, right? I need to know about the enemies, therefore I need something to keep track of the enemies. Otherwise, um, one of the hard ones was the it might actually be here. What was it? Oh, the projectiles. When I add the projectiles to the scene, if I didn't have something to attach them to, they wouldn't show. So I had to, and I couldn't just put them in the scene because they wouldn't work properly. So eventually attaching them to the projectile manager made sense. So I think that I just need to evolve my understanding. Noise. Um, I'm going to finish the point anyway because it's worth just recording it anyway. But I think I just need to evolve my understanding to get there. So I just need to grow, right? Build a few games, look at things differently, and try and learn as I go, and not worry too much about am I doing it perfectly the way that everyone else would do it that's been doing game dev for years. So yeah. Okay, so what I want to do is game over? Is high score actually a A scene, or is the high score table? Like game over can be the. I wonder if the issue for you is related to using a managed memory language, because having to keep track of resources is the norm in non-managed languages. It probably makes me a little, well, a lot less disciplined for certain. Um, I know it's important, and I know that not again in my normal dev world, it, everything is very linear overall. So using C sharp plus a game engine is abstracting you quite a bit. Yeah. Um, that being said, I have picked up Unreal before, so Two Salty Clans and some friends have been building stuff for quite a while now, and I've joined them a few times and tried to contribute, but I've felt that my contribution has been lacking. I did do some C++ stuff, and got stuck on. I think I got stuck on templates for like 2 weeks. Um, so here I'm picking game dev with C sharp because I don't have the language is something that I don't necessarily have to worry about. The structuring of the code and the structuring of the actual game project is the thing that's different here for me. Um, and getting over ideas, like it always seems very inefficient to do things like, oh, I need to go and get a list of all the enemies. It seems like that's a really slow thing to do, but it's not. It's quite common to do it. Um, so yeah, I don't know if it's also do it. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't think I've gone too far off path on some things here. Um, and some of it is I've got to learn, learn what I don't know as well, right? Um, I'm going to fumble through and you know, you have X widgets, got to manage those widgets. Exactly. Yeah. So, but I don't know. I'm embracing more of the I'm just going to do things and explore and learn rather than worry too much about, oh, well, that seems really, why would I do that? That seems like this should be a better way of doing it. I'm not stopping myself, whereas previously I would have stopped myself and thought, that feels wrong, or, you know, maybe there's a better way and I'm just being inefficient. Um, so now I'm just kind of bumbling through. Add child node. So what would this be? Actually, I'm wrong to do that. I do want to do game over high score, but high score doesn't need to be um, high score. High score doesn't need to be. Think. Um, huh. Yeah, I can embed. What I'll do is I'll embed high score in. Tend to work. Thanks for stream, Mojo. Thank you very much. Thanks for the raid once again, and thank you for coming hanging out. Actually, I've been very bad at this. I was mentioned it before. Worth noting that Prop does also stream. Um, a lot more advanced stuff than I'm doing, but not necessarily game dev, but a lot of tooling and a lot of emulator stuff and retro stuff, which is very awesome to watch. And How do you feel reading yourself? It's confusing because I had two screens up. Like, but yeah, thank you for the raid. So what I'm thinking is I want to embed instantiate child scene. So I want to put high scores in there, and then what high scores will be. See you all around. Have a great day, Mojo. See you around. Hopefully, in one line stream later on. So okay, so I've done this before. Hey, Deflux, how you doing? Happy Monday. Happy first day of a new job. Congrats once more. And I'm onboarding in 5 minutes. Have fun. It's always intimidating starting a new job, I find. The whole pipe of new things to learn, new people to talk to, new processes. The oh, they're doing this way. Oh, that I didn't do it this way before. I've got to adapt that or figuring things out. That's the wrong application. Scoring. So scoring here is actually touching the labels there. When you are learning something new, you're making lots of progress. It's our giant company of Exchange running on-prem for email. I go, oh, well. Does anybody still actually have Exchange running on-prem? Or does your new company have Exchange running on-prem? And that's a terrifying thought. Oh, interesting. Well, that could be the industry, that could be history, that could be all manner of things. Don't judge too hard on day one. I don't want to have any services running on-prem that are not core business. It could be stupidity. What is it? Do not attribute to malice what could be attributed to. I can't remember the full phrase there. Yeah, it could just be a history. Monday.com. Interested to know what your experience on Monday.com is. Hanlon's Razor. Yes. Yes, there we go. Which combined is like triple the cost of just using Office 365 and Teams. Well, Monday.com is, unless I'm mistaken, kind of a Jira style. And from the UI of it, one of the influences of what I've done with this MS project. Gotcha. YouTuber says, oh, having been bot spammed again this weekend, I'm still mindful of removing the no links from. Why doesn't, tell you what, here's what we're gonna do. I'm pretty sure. Just make me mod. Uh, okay, I have to go. BRB. Defaults, have fun. BRB for an onboarding. I think at this point, everybody go in here. I go for my project planning. I'll time everyone out, problem solved. And that's why Deflux is not going to get mod. So I've got two options here, right? I can do. Okay, I'm going to go there. Really hacky. Um, just kind of get it done. And then I'll consider what it means to do. Age center wide, okay. So add child node, rich text label. Yes, I'm about to do this, by the way. 0. Can I create an array of controls? So my thought here is actually I need to do a little bit better than that, don't I? What I'm considering is, do I add it on the fly, and do I kind of create the scores on the fly and show them? What I probably want to do is if I'm going to do the old school way, I'm going to do like 3-character name with a score, and I'm going to populate it with like AAA, BBB, CCC, DD, etc. for the initial run, and then you kind of replace the scores as you go up. You know, that's how it would work, right? You'd have the default scores, you'd have to beat them. What I'm thinking of is, do I just lay out 10 scores here and then reference them in the script? Do I create a score object that has name and whatever? Probably the better way to do it would be to do name and an actual score, and then have add elements of that type in. We're doing this a little better. Create new scene score, and score is going to be campus again. And then we're going to have add child node. Let's do label. This is going to be player initials. Add child node. Label. Score. I think that'll give me the ability to talk the path properly. But now I need I think probably need a hpots. So AAA and 0,000 layout top left. So score, label settings. Display text. Trim nothing. kind of need to do like right. Clip contents. Full rect. I don't think full rect is the that's more what I want. So what I'm looking to do here is high score scene, instantiate child scene, score. So then when I go there, it's all looking very rough, isn't it? Transform. Why does that overlay that? Layer, transform. There's no kind of block there. Interesting. Full rec there feels wrong. That feels wrong because that's not. That's going to take on the behavior of this, isn't it? Horizontal. Vertical alignment. That's that. That's that. That's that. That's that. That's that. Don't think I want it that way because I think that's going to look very strange. It's centered, but now it's not. It's not breaking around this. So that's got the high score script. So my thought is I can add them dynamically, right? Or I could default them all out. So again, if I do that, no. Scroll 0, scroll 1, and into stack. So should that be an H box? V box? Change type. H box container. Alignment center. V center. So what I've got to get used to is what each component, what each layout thing means in terms of how it relates to other things that, because I think this is the right way. Create a high score thing that we can manage the script so I can load the scores in. Whether I create these on the fly or I create these so I need a score script, wouldn't I? I think, because then I would have so a score would basically be initialized with, can I do a constructor on here? Will it let me do that? Because essentially what I'd do is I'd take a score record and then I'd get the labels. We don't need to update them, so it's just setting them, right? So I would get the labels. Yeah, kind of. Game over. Yeah. So on the score here, pair initials and score. So do something similar to this. I go and do label player initials var initials var wonder if that name is relative to the component we're attached to. We'll see about that. Initials dot text equals record dot player initials dot score dot text equals record dot score. And then we would attach the score script there. So now when this is initialized, it should get its things, set them. Then the high score component itself. I don't want to add these. Kind of want to add these after the fact. Uh, hmm. So I need to figure that out. I need to figure out how the heck I'm going to get in. Basically, what I'm thinking is I want to start up, and I probably want to initialize the scores the first time. So if the file doesn't exist, I want to initialize them, right? Then I want to call get top 10 scores on show of the high score table and load out those values and add in the right values here. The problem with that is I'm going to end up with, okay, well, now then I've loaded it, I've showed them. Now when I come back, I've got to go and either remove all those nodes, clear them out, or add them back in. I don't know whether the removing, I don't think yeah, I do remove the game over screen. So potentially then they're always needing to be loaded. So Yeah, what I do is on show, load out there. But anyway, I think that will be a tomorrow problem at this point. I mean, I think I'm making progress. I'm enjoying doing this. It's definitely a lot of fun. Um, I do need to get more progress made on Liquid Sky though, because I need to get over the changes challenge as well. So, but we will resume this tomorrow. So I'm gonna raid you over to Beegs. Beegs is developing a Souls like it seems. He's been inspired by Cetalix. I don't know. So appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out with me. I'll be back tomorrow, do a little bit more of this, and then um, later in the week, Wednesday through Friday, again as I have time off, I may spend some extra time on stream, getting some of the main project stuff done as I get changes done. So yeah, thank you for joining me. Take care. If I don't see you around, if I don't see you in one line stream later on, have a great rest of your day and see you again soon. So, and again, I still don't have the screen because maybe I'll spend some time doing that, getting some of the screens set up and moved over from my stream PC. But yeah, take care all. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.